Have you been trying to grow your business, but every time you move forward in the process, your body shuts down, your nervous system gets dysregulated? Like when it is time to take the next step or learn something new or multiply your efforts, you feel frozen in time, like you're not sure what to do. And this consistently happens no matter how much mindset and personal development that you do. Well, that is what we're going to talk about on today's show. So, if you are a coach, a healer, a healing focused entrepreneur, and you are helping other people change their life, but every time you try to advance what's going on in your own business, you get stuck. Man, do I remember the frustration. I was really good at what I did and how I helped other people. But when I was learning something new or when I was challenged to do something I hadn't done before, my body would freeze up and it would put me into this spin freeze cycle. And I wasn't sure what to do. I started experiencing anxiety and I just kept doing like all of the tapping, the walking outside barefooted, breath work, all of the modalities that was supposed to help me calm down. So I would get calm for a moment or for a few moments. But then whenever I had to put up the post, do the live, like something that was uncomfortable, unfamiliar, out of the ordinary, like not something I did every day, norm, it would happen again. I was so frustrated. I'm really curious, what have you tried? Because today I'm going to break down some of those modalities and I'm going to give you a shortcut of how to get your nervous system regulated, how to calm the hell down so that you can actually get things done and grow your business. So pull up a seat, take out a pen and a paper, and let's dive in. So, first of all, what is happening with the dysregulation is very normal. There is nothing wrong with you, my friend, nothing. This is the way our brain responds when we don't know what to do or when we're learning something that is uncomfortable or unfamiliar. We go into defense, or it's a defense mechanism. It is a pattern of behavior, but it's often misunderstood. And that's what you're experiencing right now. So let's take a look at exactly what is happening. I know because I was there and it still happens to me now, even doing this podcast or showing up live on social media, having to do anything that is uncomfortable because I don't know who's watching. I don't know what they're thinking. And I start getting nervous, maybe even panicked. And what happens is that dysregulation of the nervous system, which is just feelings, uncomfortable sensation in the body, starts occupying your mind as a distraction. And that's just the mechanism to keep you safe. So your brain, just imagine your brain were telling a story, it would say, hey, just don't do it. You might die. People are going to laugh at you. There's something wrong with you, right? All of those old stories. And then you go into self preservation. So here's what you do: stop, just pause and notice. Very first thing we do whenever our clients are dysregulated, or when I am dysregulated, or my children are dysregulated, is pause. Just pause. Maybe look yourself in the eye or put your hand on your heart or squeeze your toes. Just stop. And you only have to do this for a few seconds, but I'm going to tell you, you're not going to want to do it. We never want to do it. And then it's so simple, we don't even believe it's going to work, but it does. I promise you, this is very simple and very natural. You just haven't been doing it. So stop, squeeze, and it could just be squeezing your hands together, taking a deep breath into your body, changing the scenery. Maybe if you're inside, you could walk outside. Maybe if you're outside, you can walk inside. Just do something completely different. You're just going to stop and change the environment. So instead of being panicked and all over the place, you're just going to like give yourself a squeeze, a little tap, a few swallows, some deep breaths, stop, and then get curious. I wonder what I am afraid of. I'm curious why this is happening. I wonder, I'm curious. Both of those equally help because curiosity and wonder gives your mind something else to focus on. Asking yourself questions, it actually distracts what is happening and it makes you go think about something else or do something else. And that is what you want. You know how when your dog is misbehaving or your kid, you just kind of like make a noise or clap your hands or shake them up? That's changing the environment. And then you just hold them and let them know that they are safe. And you're going to do this for yourself. So you're going to stop in the midst of the dysregulation. You might be panicked, you might be breathing heavy, maybe you're sweating or you feel pulsating in the body. You're just going to stop for a few seconds, squeeze, tighten, touch, open to curiosity. Just be willing to question so that you can get your mind focused on something else while your nervous system begins to regulate. This happens very naturally. And in the open to curiosity and wonder, just notice. Notice what you might be panicked about or what you might be afraid of. You're going to put up the post. You're going to write the email. Maybe you're writing a book and you're just getting started. Whatever it is, I can pretty much guarantee you it is unfamiliar. You don't think you're going to do a good job. You're afraid you're going to fail, or you're worried about what someone else is thinking or saying. I would love to hear from you if I'm wrong. I have been doing this work for so many years, and I have worked through hundreds of clients and trained many coaches. And here's the thing, we all function the same. There are many different things about us, but the way that the mind body works is not unique to each individual. It's a mechanism. And we have trained the way that we react and respond according to our own personal experiences. So that part is different. But the actual process or the solution is the same because we're targeting the function, the way that your brain works to keep you safe, to keep you alive, and the way that your mind contributes to the fear is what we are, can't think of the word, but we're like interjecting. We're changing something there. We're changing the relationship between the two by just bringing in these three simple steps. First one, stop, squeeze, tap, feel, hug. Second one, open and ask. And you can ask as many questions as you want. You'll notice after the first or second question is it'll already start to change. Your state of being will change. The sensations will change because your mind now has a chew toy. It has something else to focus on. And that is what you want. So you want to intentionally give it a distraction, one that is going to serve you and help you. Because if not, it comes up with its own. And that is where you get dysregulated. So we want to be in control. We want to manage our mind. We want to manage the way that our brain functions, and we want to manage the way that our body responds. The third step is to stay. So you're asking questions, you're getting super curious, you're starting to notice your mind is like wandering around and it's light and playful. It's very inquisitive and curious. And then you just stay and watch what you're experiencing. You just watch. You notice the sensations going down, maybe going back up. You may even notice that you're frustrated and impatient because you don't want to do this. Very, very common. We don't want to do this. And it's not always easy to do alone. This is something that we do with our clients. It's something that I train my coaches in. I make sure that they master this before they get out of coach training so that they can handle anything. So, in the stay part, you can set a timer for 30 to 90 seconds, or you can count to 100, count to 1,000. You can count the stars. You can count your fingers. You just want to stay in the calm, inquiry, curious state. Guys, this stuff is like magic. If anyone is like going crazy around you, having a hissy fit, kids are carrying on, if you just do these three simple things, your nervous system will regulate in 90 seconds. And then you will be back in control and you will be able to manage your life. You can manage any situation. You can manage any situation, any circumstance just by mastering these three simple steps. Now, in the stay part is you like when you're in stay, you're counting the 30, 60, 90 seconds and feels like you're normal again. Like you're not preoccupied, you're not distracted. You just feel pretty good because you're back in control, you're back in management. In that moment, if you feel like your nervous system has regulated and you can do something else because you're like, okay, I got this, no big deal. Because it will get easier over time, by the way. It might take 100 times before you master these first three steps. But once you have, then I have a little pivot for you. This is an advanced part. So you've stopped, you've opened to curiosity, you're willing to explore, and you're like kind of looking around and asking and watching. And now you're staying until you are in a regulated state. Your breathing is normal, your mind is settled, your body is calm. Then you could start something else. So it's kind of like, now what? Now that I'm calm, now that I'm regulated, now that I feel like I'm in a neutralized state, now, what can I do? What can I start? So, if you were doing an assignment, you were writing a post or a blog and you got frustrated and dysregulated and you checked out, and now you're back into a calm state, you're going to take this calm state and go back to the project. So, I'm not saying you have to do the same project. You can for sure go do something else. But if you really want to master this, I would go back to doing the same exact thing that you were doing when you got dysregulated and try it again. So come back, sit down, notice what's going on in your body, notice what's going on in your mind, notice your breathing, notice the comfort where you are now, and then start to do the project again. And if you notice you begin to get dysregulated again, then get really curious about what your thoughts are. Because it could be something as simple as, I hate doing this. I don't want to do this. I'm not good at this. What if I get it wrong? So have a paper and a pen on the side, and you're just going to take notes of what you're noticing. Now, if you don't notice anything, you just move on with the project. So that would be stop, open, stay, start. You'll just start something else. And this is something that you just keep repeating. I guarantee you it will change the way that you show up in the world. It will change your ability to learn and to master new things. And there's nothing more powerful than feeling in control and feeling managed. I work with so many people, and this is a big issue. And it is because there is unresolved trauma imprinted in the system of your body. But each time you go through this, you don't even know what the incidents, you don't even have to know what it was. You do not have to go backwards. You don't have to go into the past. You don't have to figure it out. I promise you, if you just do the process, those things, those imprints will start to leave your body. They will, I promise you. We have become addicted to these healing modalities. And I'm telling you that it is holding you back and it has become a new distraction. So I want you just to try this. Try it for a week or two. Tell me, send me an email or Respond back. Come to the free community. If you're not in our community, it's called the Massage and Spa Professionals Community. We do pop-up calls in there, some networking, meet the members. We do some of this. It's just a great place to come and meet other healers and wellness practitioners and what's working for them. And it's a great place to get some help for yourself. So that is what I have for you this week. I hope it's helpful. I would love to hear from you. Stop, open, stay. And as soon as everything is normalized and neutralized, you will start again. And you will repeat this as many times as it takes to get through that one project. And this is something that you can practice with your kids, in your relationships, at the grocery store, at the red light, the stop signs. Anytime you're feeling yourself dysregulate, this is the way to bring you back to a neutral state of being where you can make rational decisions. Because all that has happened is there was a moment of separation from safety, and then the feeling created its own story, but it's not true. So just bring yourself back home.
Thanks for listening to this episode of More Than Mindset.